Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Corcoran, and today I'll be sharing with you a presentation on repetitive strain injury mitigation, or better known as RSI mitigation. Let's take a look at today's agenda. We're going to start off today's presentation with a brief introduction. We'll then move into repetitive strain injuries, or RSIs, where we will define what an RSI is, as well as talk about primary causes of RSIs, specifically within an office environment. We will then talk about RSI prevention and move into our proposed RSI mitigation plan. We will wrap this presentation up with the conclusion at the very end. So, let's look at the introduction, shall we? The purpose of today's presentation is to provide an overview of the problem that persists in the workplace. We have this problem called repetitive strain injuries, which affect every line of work, no matter what it is, whether it be construction or an office job. There's always these monotonous, tedious tasks that we're forced to do over and over again. So the purpose of this presentation is to look at these injuries, kind of get a high level of what they are, and we're going to also look at some proposed solutions for these injuries that exist within our specific environment. A little bit of background behind this report. We've had 4 employees at the Corcoran consulting group who have reported lost time due to these injuries. That means that within our office, we've had 4 employees so far that are in discomfort. They're not comfortable at their job due to some things that they have to do. They have no choice but to perform these activities to succeed in their job. If they're getting injured doing these activities, we are failing as a consulting group. Corcoran Consulting is failing. The scope of this project is to provide a very high-level overview of what RSI actually is, as well as the proposed solutions. Just to clarify, cost was not included in this presentation. This presentation is purely made to give context to management on what RSIs are and what the potential solutions that they can do are. So, speaking of RSIs, what is an RSI? As you can see here, by definition, an RSI is known as an overuse or cumulative trauma syndrome, and they are caused by a myriad of actions performed during daily work and leisure activities. What does this mean for our office environment? This means sitting down for 8 hours a day. This means typing all day long. This means having your chair and your desk not fitted for you personally. All these things could lead to a repetitive strain injury, where things are done over and over again, but there's no solution provided. So all these things have deteriorating effects, which is detrimental to our workplace. There are a few primary causes of RSIs within our workplace. So we're going to start off by taking a look at computer vision syndrome, or CVS. CVS is essentially fatigue of the eyes and your vision. This fatigue grows into your head and headaches, and also into your neck and back strain. It also moves into your shoulders. So as you can see, it's a domino effect. And this is created from being at your computer and staring at a monitor all day long that might be too bright for you. It might be too high for you. It might be too low for you. Either way, these things are causing an issue to the employee who's experiencing it. Not desirable. Next, we have ergonomics, which is defined as it's basically efficiency. It's biomechanics. So if you're sitting down and your back's hunched over, you're not efficient. Your circulation's affected. Your posture's affected. All these things have a deteriorating effect on everything else. If your ergonomics are off, say your desk is too high, your arms aren't at a 90-degree angle, your desk is too low, you're looking up at your monitor, you're looking down at your monitor. These are all ergonomical issues. You need those things to be perfect, and every single person is different. No 2 people have the exact same ergonomics, because you could break these things down into such fine detail that you'll find out that no 2 people have the same. It's a huge issue in our workplace. Next, we have stagnation, or a sedentary lifestyle. The nature of our job at the office is sitting at your computer for 8 hours a day. You're stagnant, essentially. If you don't have the option to stand up, walk around, stretch, you're going to just be sitting there. If your ergonomics are thrown off, it's also going to have an effect. All these things kind of tie into each other, and you can see if one thing grows into a problem, it affects the other thing. And there's a snowball effect where these issues just get bigger and bigger and bigger until one day you have lost time, which is the motivation behind this presentation. Stagnation. You're sitting down 8 hours a day. You might be commuting 1-2 hours a day. You get home, sit down to eat dinner with your family. You might sit down to watch TV on the couch because you've had a very long day. If you add that up, you could be spending upwards of 12 or 13 hours sitting down each day, which is not what the human beings' bodies are. Sorry, that was kind of bad. It's not what the human body is designed for. The human body is meant to stand up, stretch, walk around, do whatever it wants. It's not meant to sit down for 12 hours in a day. It's blasphemy, really. But the good news is, there is prevention. So one of these prevention techniques, it's not really a technique, it's a prevention option, is higher quality equipment. This could come in the form of chairs, desks, mice, or keyboards. All things at your desk that could have an incremental impact on your comfort level. You could get a new chair. Everyone knows that the chairs that you get at school or at work, there's two options. There's up and down, and there might be tilt back, tilt forward. Not very robust, is it? Some of the chairs that you get these days have a lumbar support where there's a pump in the back. You could pump that up to give you support in your lower back. You could go up and down, you could go forward, back, you could slide your armrests forward and back. The chair technology these days is insane, really. There's a number of different options, and the technology is just, it's crazy, to be honest. Next, we have desks. We all know of our desks that we have. They're sedentary, they don't move, they're fixed. There's desks that are available now that can adjust, they can go up and down. You could stand at your desk. You could sit at your desk and have that 90-degree angle bend in your arm and in your legs. It's fascinating. I didn't have that when I was growing up, and I'm young, so it's quite overwhelming. Next, we have mice. Some people, they're not comfortable using a mouse like this. They need to invert their hand to relieve stress on their wrists. This should be an option to most people, but a lot of people don't have that option, which is unfortunate. And the same thing goes for a keyboard. There are ergonomic keyboards that exist now. They're not just the flat ones where you're typing like this, which isn't natural. You can actually split the keyboard and type like this, which is far more natural. And you can get better at typing through that as well. Now, there's also ergonomic assessments. There are companies out there whose job is to go from company to company and desk to desk to desk within that company to give personalized ergonomic assessments. It's a very valuable resource. Everyone loves customization. Everyone loves customization because they could call it their own. They could go to their desk and they could say, this isn't my desk because someone messed with the height of my desk or the height of my chair. My ergonomics are all thrown off. If you're able to make someone's experience at work more comfortable, they're going to enjoy their life far more. And also their posture will improve with these ergonomic assessments as well, promoting circulation, which is undoubtedly beneficial. Next, we have standing. Again, we are not meant to be sitting down for 12 hours in a day. We're meant to have the option to stand up and walk around. And it's weird when people feel awkward standing up. They feel like they should be sitting down. That's not the way our bodies are designed. We're meant to be standing. I can't emphasize that enough. So, the proposed RSI mitigation plan that we've created. We'd like to get Corcoran consultants to consider a new chair program. The chairs that they have now, they're out of date. They're broken. The majority of them are broken. They've got stains on them. They're not desirable. We need better chairs for our employees. There's a direct correlation between an investment in these mitigation plans and the RSI time off. The correlation is undeniable. If you invest in the well-being of your employees and their comfort at work, their repetitive strain injuries are going to go down because they're going to be non-existent, well, close to non-existent. Next, the hiring of an ergonomics professional. We recommend that Corcoran Consulting considers the hiring of an ergonomics professional. It's very easy. It could be done within a month. You could hit every single desk in your office within 1 month with one of these professionals. It's fascinating. And it shows your employees that you truly do care about them. You show them that you're concerned about their comfort in your workspace. Do you value your employees or not? Do you want them to be comfortable or not? Do you, as a management who works in this office, want this? Because I'm sure that you do. And the final thing that we'd like you to consider are the investment of standing desks. Give your employees the option to stand up and sit down comfortably. Give them the option to stand up and stretch, get their circulation going, work on their posture. You yourself will love it, and it's a great talking piece. Because let's be real, in 5 years, standing desks, they're probably going to be the status quo. With the advancements of technology, these are becoming much, much more affordable. And people love having the option. You don't want to be the last person in on standing desks. You'd rather be the first person in and then upgrade it when everyone else is first getting it. I think it's a fantastic investment. And like I said, there's a direct correlation between the investments you make in your employees and the RSI lost time. It's a directly negative correlation where the more you invest into this stuff, the less that you'll have these RSI lost time injuries, which is fantastic. So, conclusion. RSIs are a real thing, no matter what your line of work. They exist on construction fields, they exist in office environments. Our job as management is to mitigate these for our employees because we don't want our employees to be uncomfortable. We don't want them to lose time because of their conditions at work. It's unacceptable, truly. There are many causes of RSIs, as we've talked about. You could be sedentary, there could be ergonomic issues, and also the issue of working in front of a computer all day, staring into a screen for 8 hours or 9 hours a day, every single day. Those are all primary causes that can be prevented, as we've mentioned. Prevention does exist. You can get standing desks. You can get ergonomic assessments. You can get computer aids. You could upgrade your monitors. You could upgrade your chair. You could upgrade your desk. You could upgrade your mouse. You could change your monitors. All these things have a very positive impact on our employees. And finally, our proposed RSI mitigation plan, which, new chair program, everyone wants a new chair. We then have the hiring of an ergonomics professional, get customization for every single employee in our office. Even if they don't want it, they've had the option. They can't complain. They work in a company that cares about their comfort at their desk for 8 hours a day. And finally, the standing desks. This also is a little out of the ordinary now, but it will be in the ordinary in the future. And as I mentioned before, a direct correlation between investment of all of these and the prevention of RSIs. So as I mentioned, please consider doing these. We don't need any more employees losing time on their job due to repetitive strain injury. It's unacceptable, and we are better than that. We care about our employees. So that concludes my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your attention and your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.